This episode of the Blind Film Critic is brought to you by Unique Energy Drink. What makes you unique? Boy, J.J. Abrams is doing okay, isn't he? Star Wars, Star Trek. What's going to be next? Starbucks? Coming out of the theater, I'm thinking to myself, that was pretty fun. You know what? I had a good time. Now, I'll be honest with you, it's not the greatest Star Trek movie in the world, but it's certainly not the worst. The great thing about this movie is probably the great thing about all these Star Trek movies. They don't take a lot of time at the beginning, you know, they do a little bit of reset, and before you know it, you're right smack dab in the middle of the adventure, and it happens so quickly. Overall, the performances in this are pretty good. I think you're going to enjoy them. Chris Pine does a real nice job with Captain Kirk. Zachary Quinto absolutely kills it as Commander Spock. Anton Yelchin is also perfect as Chekhov. I mean, he does that Russian accent beautifully.
Proximity alert, sir. We have an unknown ship heading right for us.
You'd think it was really from Russia. I felt like Simon Pegg played himself, but I really enjoyed every time he was on screen, and he always had a good line, too. He's probably the most likable character in the whole film. Jayla is a new character, and she's played beautifully by Sofia Boutella. She brings a lot of heart and soul to this, and she's just plain lovely. You know what she does? She makes you fall in love with her. She makes you root for her almost instantly for the moment she comes on screen. Carl Urban, I don't know, I felt like he was a little flat, you know? I just felt like he was just reading the lines. There was nothing terribly special about what he did. I think he's called Bones for a reason. There's no heartbeat in this character. They did a nice job with the music in this one. You know, there was no little motif that sort of ran through the whole thing, so it wasn't extra special. But it did what it was supposed to do. You know, it wasn't too overpowering, and it wasn't too little of it either. You almost didn't even know it was there. The thing I really like about these movies is the story. There's always a story in here. And all the characters work really well together too. You know, like the relationship between Kirk and Spock, for example, or Scotty and everybody. And the new character, Jayla, fit beautifully into this whole thing. If you're a Star Trek fan, I think you're gonna have a really good time and enjoy this. However, if you're not a Star Trek fan, you probably wanna stay home. I mean, as a movie, just as a movie itself, nothing too terribly special. There's a lot of action in this one, plenty of action. Some battle scenes, some of them quite lengthy to be honest. And for me, without sight, it just comes off like a big wall of sound. You know, a lot of music, a lot of stereo effects and stuff. And while that's happening, there's not a lot of play-by-play, so understandably, I get lost. But when the scene stops and all the dust settles, they start to talk about what just happened. Everything that just happened. Who got hurt, who did what. They explain the point of the whole scene and give it some relevance as well. And this seems to be one of those things to help keep the audience right on track, you know, right where they want you to be in the story. Next time you see an action movie with a long scene like that, notice whether or not they talk about it afterwards. More often than not, they do. So for Star Trek Beyond, I'm giving it 3 out of 4 eyes open. I hear they spent so much money on the marketing and the budget for this movie, the next one's gonna be Star Truck. They're just gonna drive around a galaxy. So what's next? Starsky and Hutch? What's next, the Jetsons? The next one's just gonna be Star Search. Thanks to our sponsor, Unique Energy Drink, the sustainable feel-good. The objective is to give you the benefit of the other energy drinks without the negative effects. The energy curve is less steep on both sides, so it doesn't have that overdose effect or the crash. It has a diverse flavor described as a fruity mix and leaves you with a clean palate. To request Unique in your local store, just go to the website, uniqueenergydrink.com. I'm gonna wreck something for you. I know it says no spoilers, but Spock curses. No shit.